Hey guys, welcome back to Ozzy and Rae React. I'm Rae.
I'm Ozzy.
And in today's video, we're going to be discussing Britney Spears' conservatorship.
Another good one.
So, I'm sure everybody has seen in recent weeks the news surrounding Britney Spears. This has been going on for a long time. She's been in this conservatorship for 13 years, and I didn't realize until I watched the
First of all, what is a conservatorship? Well, I can't even say it. Conservatorship.
Go ahead and give us the definition of a conservatorship.
A conservatorship is a court case where a judge appoints a responsible person or organization or a lawyer to take care of another adult called the conservator who cannot care for him or herself or manage his or her own finances.
Okay. So like I said, this has been going on for a long time, 13 years, since 2008. I didn't realize it was going on that long, but I'm sure everybody remembers when Britney was hospitalized back then. She had shaved her head bald. She had been beaten on paparazzi's cars with the umbrella. You remember that?
Nervous break. She
basically had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, or I don't know if it was nervous or it was just basically a mental breakdown period.
It was a mental breakdown.
Yes.
But I don't know if you guys remember as well, like today the paparazzi isn't like what it used to be. If you guys watch the documentary, I forget even what the documentary is called. I forget what it's called. There's a documentary out right now, and it's about Britney and her conservatorship, or, you know, about the things that Britney was going through. And the paparazzi used to flash these flashes in Britney's face every time she went outside. And I can only imagine the headaches and the irritation and frustration she must have dealt with. Because back then it was like, okay, who pays the person? Somebody gets a good shot and gets a whole lot of money for it. You know what I mean? Whereas today it's not the same. It doesn't happen like that anymore. So yeah, she went through a mental breakdown. The conservatorship was only supposed to be temporary. Like, I guess in California, here they call it a Baker Act. There they call it a 5150 hold that they put on her. Only supposed to be temporary. I guess they decided that they wanted to do it permanent. And I don't know what grounds they even had to do that. To say that she's permanently disabled. She's permanently disabled, but she can be a work mule.
There is none.
There
are no grounds.
So they got her in this.
She had a mental breakdown, and they
like everybody has. Everybody has a mental breakdown.
So
some point in time, everybody has one.
It may not.
And it may manifest in different ways, and that was Britney's. You understand what I'm saying?
And not just that. Not just the paparazzi flashing the lights, but you got to understand, to be at that level and not, in the eye of the public since you're a child.
And she had just had 2 kids back to back.
Had just had 2 children.
Her kids were like 1 and 2.
Right. And, you don't know if that played a part in a mental breakdown,
Right. They didn't investigate that, I guess. Yeah.
Postpartum is definitely a real thing.
My son's 1, and I think I might have postpartum sometimes. It's hard.
Yeah, so
taking care of kids is hard.
And to be a woman, a public figure, and be a woman and being told that you have to be dressed a certain way, you have to look a certain way in the music industry.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. You can't have a bad day like your average person, like me and you.
Right. No such thing.
I have my days, and with them, there's no such thing. Everybody's watching. Everybody's waiting to judge.
Yeah.
There's rumors and false allegations and all kind of stuff that's being printed out there in the media instead of them just doing their job and based off of facts,
Yeah. It's unfortunate. So this has been going on for a long time. So from 2018 until 2016, nobody heard anything from Britney. Like, I know she was performing in music and stuff like that, but I don't think...
Which makes no sense.
Okay.
Let me touch on something.
Okay.
So you said that this conservatorship started in 2008?
And it was supposed to be temporary.
But since 2008, she did about 4...
Every 2 years, she was pumping out albums.
Tours.
Yeah.
4 world tours that grossed over 400 million.
Do you know what Britney's net worth is right now?
What's that?
$59 million.
Ridiculous.
$59 million. So she's not good enough to take care of her own self, but she's good enough to pump out albums. She's good enough to go on world tours. She's good enough to have the residency in Vegas. So she's good enough to make the money.
Let me pull out some more numbers for you. With the residency in Vegas, she was doing $475,000 per show.
Wow.
Per show.
Wow.
Right? And you know that has nothing.
That has nothing to do with
sales,
albums, perfumes, any promotions.
I forgot she does have perfume.
Anything like that, and her perfume sold for a lot of money, too. So Britney is making a lot of money throughout this whole time.
My thing is with the whole conservatorship. So she has to be under this whole conservatorship thing, right? Because she is not mentally stable enough to take care of her own finances and all this other stuff, but she is all together
good enough to make the money,
to make all this money and be a cash cow for
her family. So listen to this. Family. As I was doing my research, like I said, we didn't hear anything from Britney per se from 2008 to 2016. Although a lot of her fans in 2009, this is where this whole Free Britney thing started. 2009, fans speculated that something wasn't right. So they started this whole Free Britney thing. This was 2009. We're in 2021 now. I've never heard of Free Britney until 2021. Never heard of it, but these fans were adamant that something wasn't right. So in 2016, Britney spoke out and she said she is sick of being taken advantage of and she feels like she is the only one earning the money while all of her family members are on the payroll.
Wow.
So she said that herself in 2016. She's making all the cash. Everybody else is on the payroll just living off her scot-free. I also think 1 year, her conservatorship fees were $1.1 million, 130 of that being paid out to her dad.
That's ridiculous.
Right. That was how it went up until 2016.
My thing is this, right? You know, all money aside, she's a human, right?
She sure is.
And to be treated like this is ridiculous. And from what I've researched and what I've heard, I believe she was robbed of being able to be a mother as well, which, you know, that
can also put you into a place of mental disarray.
That's one of the greatest gifts God gives, you know, human, to be able to create, have children, and raise children.
And I think all of that is under wraps too. I don't know if Kevin took the kids or she was made to give her kids up. I don't know what the situation is, but yeah, for 13 years, I guess she was in some parts robbed of not being able to be the mother that she wanted to be because she had no control over anything.
She can't. And listen, people, this is not just about money and what her family took from her and everything like that. Like I said, from what I understand, she wasn't able to raise her kids on her own, or I don't know if at all. And it's deeper than, like, the conservatorship, I guess, was only supposed to be about finances. Like, for someone that is not stable enough mentally to be able to handle their finances and stuff like that. But it's bad to the point where she can't even leave the house and go where she wants to go.
She said recently
she wants to have another child, and they have her on birth control or something like that,
right,
against her will.
Yep.
And she can't decide her own. Like, she can't even make medical decisions as a woman with her own body.
And she's 40 now.
40 years old. This is ridiculous. I've never heard of anything like that. This is almost this is something you would see on like a
Lifetime movie.
A Lifetime movie, you know, a show on Netflix or, you know, the Sci-Fi Channel or something like that. Like, this, it's ridiculous. Like, you can't make this stuff up.
And she says she wants her father to be persecuted. This is abuse. She's being abused. And
now,
she really is.
I have a question. Is this just her father, or is her mother involved as well?
Well, listen to this. So more recently, there's been people backing out of this conservatorship thing left and right. The dad was a part of the conservatorship, but there was also lawyers and other entities on this conservatorship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess supposedly helping the father manage everything he has to manage. I guess you do need that type of help to manage multi-million dollars. That makes perfect sense. Anywho, once Britney said that this has become abusive and they're not allowing her to live her life and have the family that she wants to have, people start backing off this thing.
Wow.
Not only did they start backing off, it's to the point where she has never been allowed to hire her own attorney. She's been allowed to pick and hire her own attorney. So somebody knows.
So she wasn't able to get her own representation?
Court-appointed attorney for 13 years.
So she was handicapped.
She was not only, right, she was handicapped in more than one way. So like I said, once Britney has said that all this has become abusive, people start backing up. And nobody wants anything to do with this whole thing now that it's abuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now that they're saying, now that she said that she has an IUD in and she doesn't want it in and she wants to be able to marry and have another child and blah, 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 blah. Nobody wants to take responsibility for the abuse part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although everybody wants her money. So now we're at a point where I guess... let's go back a little bit. In 2019, she went on an indefinite work hiatus because I guess her dad was sick for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really, that's what she said. Nobody really knows what, it says she wanted to put her energy into her family, but at that time that her father was sick, she ended up being hospitalized again. Nobody knows if it was, speculations. Nobody knows if it was she wanted to be put away or if
it was against her will.
There we go. So nobody knows in 2019 exactly what happened there. In April of 2019, she was checked into the mental facility. So once she got out of the mental facility, there was an anonymous paralegal that made some claims, and the claims were that Britney was forced into a mental facility because she made an objection during her Las Vegas residency. They said she even performed the residency with 104-degree fever. So even being sick, she wasn't able to take a break. In September 2019, her father was replaced by Jody Montgomery, which is her care manager. Later on a year later in August 2020, her court-appointed attorneys said that Britney strongly opposed having her father return as a sole conservator once his health issues were back in order. So she's been opposing this since late last year.
Well, she's definitely a strong woman for her holding on this long.
I don't know how she did that.
Yeah,
and how she kept quiet.
That can walk in her shoes and be able to go through that, and
And the documentary is called "Framing Britney Spears." In case anybody wants to check it out.
What?
Framing Britney Spears.
Okay. Yeah, man, she's definitely a strong woman for that, and God bless her. I hope that she gets everything that she deserves from here on out, and there should be definitely some type of repercussions for
and consequences. Yeah,
and consequences for especially her father. I feel like everyone that was involved, but especially her father. It wasn't a mistake. This is not this is ridiculous. It's beyond criminal at this point.
Yeah. So earlier this year in March, Britney filed a court petition to have Montgomery's her care manager, replace Jamie altogether, and I don't think the courts agreed. But in June, she was actually able to speak in the hearing, and everybody knows, like I said, she said she wants to marry and have a baby with her boyfriend. She's forced to have birth control. She's been abused. She's been bullied. And she's really, like you said, she's been robbed. So we are currently, Britney is currently waiting on another hearing to see if she can get, her father, only her father taken off, but she wants totally out of the conservatorship.
Right. Which I feel like she deserves. She shows that she's stable enough to be able to get these things done.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, at that point, I would question what's in it for the judge and the prosecutors.
Right, and everything that's going on here, because
when there's a lot of money involved like this, everyone's in question. Yes,
yeah.
Everyone is in question.
This thing happens a lot with people down here in Florida. And maybe it's just because Florida's the retirement state. It's a lot of old people, but it happens a lot.
I feel like even a lot of them get taken advantage of by these lawyers and these entities that are able to take over their lives.
They get put in conservatorships, and all that they've worked for.
Probably forced into some type of home. You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. It happens often. And like I said, I don't know if it's because it's the older population down here, but if Britney is able to get out of this conservatorship, this is going to put a lot of stuff into question about these conservatorships.
I feel like this, right? This is what I feel like would be fair. Okay, I think there is a need for conservatorships, right?
Yeah.
But I also feel like there should be a separate entity that has nothing to do with that gets no kickback, that's maybe government funded or something like that, that should be able to check on these people and make sure, to make sure that these people are, it really is what they say they are. They're being treated fairly. There's no foul play going on and everything like that. There should definitely be something in place.
And I'm confused as to where her mother's at.
I just actually read that her mother is now supporting her. I don't understand the full logistics of the relationship between her and her mother. Like, was her mother a part of this?
She said every one of her family members was on the payroll.
Or maybe her mother's having to change her heart.
Except her little sister. Everybody was on the payroll.
Maybe her mother's having to change her heart. And
No.
No?
That's unacceptable, and I'm going to tell you why. There's no way that you watch your daughter suffer for 13 years and then all of a sudden, when she's ready to get out, people who are close to Britney, managers, security guards, say that she's been stressing to get out of this for a long time. So you're going to tell me, as her mother, she's never spoken to you about getting out of this conservatorship. And if she did, you decided to sit back and just collect the check. And now today, you decide you have a change of heart.
Is the mother and father
unacceptable.
Still married, or are they still together?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this. Like I said, everything sounds fishy. Everything, like everyone.
I'm so glad Britney spoke up.
Yeah, and I'm definitely glad that she's taken the, after all these years, she's finally getting somewhere with this whole thing. Now, I have just recently read that she put in some type of, she filed some type of order to be able to get this whole court case moved faster.
Yeah, it's going too slow for her.
And it got denied.
Yeah, it's going too slow for Britney.
So, whenever it does come, I hope that, she makes more progress and eventually she gets out of this thing. It's definitely #free Britney. Until then, I'm one of them now. I'm definitely rooting for her, because right. It's not about if you're a Britney Spears fan or not. Secretly, I might have been. I might have been at some point in time. I might have bobbed my head to some of her music in the days.
Right.
But it's not about that anymore. At this point, it's about right and wrong.
It's a human thing.
Yes, and it's definitely wrong. So I hope that she gets out of this thing.
Me too.
And she comes out better on the other end. She's young. You said she's 40. 40 is young.
40 is young. Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Lopez is what, 50 something, and she could still go out and perform Super Bowls right now.
Tomorrow. If they had one,
right.
Yeah. Britney can still do it. Oh yeah, she can knock him dead for sure. But it's just 13 years is a lot of time to lose.
I would like to see, a happy ending to the story, and for her to be able to get everything she wants, get married, have another child, and to be just be free to go and to come and go.
Please.
Right, to come and go as she pleases. And to just be able to perform and get back to her greatness, that's one thing you can't deny about her, whether you're a fan or not. She's one of them.
Yeah.
She's one of the great ones.
She's been doing this for a
long time. Yes.
A long time.
Since Mickey Mouse Club.
Okay.
One of the originals.
Right, one of the originals. Yeah, you can't deny that Britney got it going on.
So, with that being said, I'm rooting for her. #free Britney. And please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you for checking in on another episode.
We'll see you in the next video.
Peace.